This is a much more complicated shape to see on camera, but why don't you take a look at it and try to keep it on camera when you're moving, but you can move it all around.
This actually looks like one of the space-filling curves we've studied.
Uh-huh.
On the bottom, and then you're sort of making it up into these squares, and then you get this U pattern.
Yeah, tell me a little bit more about what you see, because this is a complicated shape.
So you're starting with all these little squares.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get half as many slightly bigger squares. And you keep having the number of squares, but you're getting bigger and bigger squares. And then these on the top are the biggest.
Yeah. So you're right. This on the bottom is a space-filling curve. It's called a Hilbert curve, and we have studied that. And as you go up the different layers, if you would slice this, you would find prior iterations of that Hilbert curve. So it starts as just sort of this U, that's the first iteration.
And then
it kind of pinches in, and then
there's more pinches.
And if you look at it right from the top down, you can see how the pinch ins and wiggles form. So this is a very, very cool shape. All right, I want you to kind of look at this just for maybe 30 more seconds. And tell me something, as you look at it more carefully, tell me something that you notice that you didn't notice before.
I mean, these aren't really squares. They're trapezoids.
Okay.
I mean, and not all these trapezoids look the same. Some are more stretched than others. Like this one here and this one here are different.
Interesting. Why do you think some are getting stretched more than others?
Because there's like this, it's on the same curve area. So it curves down, so this has to be pulled out a bit. So it's that one, I guess.
What do you think would happen if you continued further down this way?
You'd get probably bigger, you get finer and finer things and smaller trapezoids.
Huh. All right, well, neat. That is a really neat shape, and yeah, we have played around with space-filling curves before, and it's neat to be able to print this one, because it shows you kind of how the space-filling curves evolve from one iteration to the next. You like it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks.